quick V2 through to my first video. I'm sure you can hear the mic is better now. I managed to get a better mic. I just managed to open another account for my trading view, so I still have to pay it off and everything, but yeah, so far so good, you know. So otherwise, what are we seeing today? What are we seeing today in the markets? So currently I'm viewing NASDAQ, the S&P, and let's just SPX500. I think that one we got on is spazzing a bit, but it's no problem. It's no need to panic. Here is a live one working perfectly well. So what I have noticed, I'm not going to go too into depth. I'm just gonna do a bit of technicals, a bit of fundamentals. Check how this video goes, and yeah, I have a lot of videos planned coming in the future. Obviously this is just a testing video. Sooner or later, once I've released better quality videos, I'm going to private these ones, and yeah, so these I'm working on my microphone now. I'm gonna be working on my editing going on later, so we just you know, hoping for the best. I hope whoever's watching this enjoys it, and depending on the support we get, you know, we might go all the way. So yeah, what we notice here, I'm on the daily chart on the S&P 500, which, by the way, how this market is moving right now is very similar to how S&P and NASDAQ is moving right now. So what we notice, we have lower lows. We have the first touch there. Let me just bring out my crayon. We got the first touch there. This is on the daily chart, so this is probably multiple 4-hour touches, so we got that right. Okay, so right now what we've recognized, we are a bit oversold, and the thing we'd be looking for right now is a retracement before we can at least continue the downward pressure, even though ideally that's not what we are looking for. But it all depends on whether the market is in a risk off or risk on or risk off sentiment, you know. So yeah, it all comes down to that. But yeah, anyways, currently we are still on risk on. There's still a lot of risk in the markets. You can see that by the way the stock market is going down. Usually gold's supposed to be going up in this type of environment, but you aren't safe if you're trading gold either, you know. So yeah, but yeah, I'm just highlighting this 0.5 level on the Fibonacci, and technically what I'm looking for here, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I'm looking for a retest of this area. Preferably, you know, if I had the ideal trade, I would say it's something like this. Okay, you know, that path is actually here. Yes, that's where the path is. I would ideally be looking for something like this. Okay, so say we have a bit of, you know, because you know it's the markets, you never just shoot down and shoot straight up, you know. So let's say you got that, and then probably you get at a point something where you get the best of both worlds, where you're touching, because this is around the 0.6 level here, where you're touching around the 0.6 level, and you know, from there we can look for further downside. But you know, given the nature of the S&P 500 and everything, I wouldn't want to be taking too many cells. Currently what I can see though, if you can go down to the 4-hour chart, there is some nice price action just deflecting off that monthly low level. So if you're one that fancies the risk, you can wait for this close, which is gonna be in 52 minutes, and then once you've gotten that close, you can take a position. I can see something working like this. This is just an idea, by the way. I might take the trade later, I might not take the trade later. Okay, let's just put it at the previous highs, and then we are looking for a 1 to 3, and we are looking to put the stops just below structure. So something like this, something like this is pretty promising. So yeah, this looks like a very interesting trade right now, and depending on what price action shows, let's actually check what the big players are doing with the S&P 500. This is the COT data. This is just showing you what the big money does with with the the markets. It has all different markets. It has S&P 500. It has, you know, every market you can think about. So here what we can see is that commercial is your average retail trader. So you do not want to, you want to be trading against the commercial at all time. Here what we are looking at actually is the non-commercial, and what we can see is that we are 53% long. So there is a slightly bullish bias on the S&P 500, and that's interesting. I just want to check this graph. What we see here though is that there's been reduced buying. Let me just reduce it down to a month, and this is May 3rd. Given today's May 9th, it's still going to update later on today, and that's when we can see whether there's been buying. But this is kind of last week's data, the data lags here, and it's, you know, it only updates on Tuesdays. So yeah, tomorrow is when we are gonna see whether there's been buying from the big players or there's been selling. But back here, okay, so we got that, you know, we are looking for a buy. You can already see it's coming out as a nice bullpen bar, you know. It's a simple idea, you know. We've been getting lower lows. The market has taken a nosedive. It's taken a nosedive, you know. Just want to highlight this, like it's lower lows on lower lows, you know. And I'm mostly a trend trader, but I'm also one, given that I'm a day trader, I like to look for entries like this where I could possibly just catch something, because we can obviously see that there is some resistance up here. So I'm looking at least to capitalize and, you know, get some money at least up until this level of resistance, you know, and from there we can come out of the trade and start looking for sells around this area, preferably once it hits this trend line. But yeah, that's more or less SPX500. Is the same story with NASDAQ too, and it's the same story with the, you know, you get the whole concept of high, lower high, lower high. It's come down, it's on that monthly level of support. So same thing with the Dow Jones index, you know, same thing. So what we're gonna look at now quickly is the DXY, the dollar index. Let's just see what the dollar index is doing now. Previously, this line basically, I don't know if you guys watched the previous video, I stated that we've noticed that level is actually breaking monthly highs. Last month it topped out around that area. So currently there's heavy bullishness in the US dollar, and I wouldn't be looking, I don't trade the US dollar specifically, my broker doesn't allow me anyways, but I just use the dollar as an indication for things that I'll be trading. So after this we can just go and look at Euro USD and see what the pattern is saying there too. So yeah, technically what I'm looking for is some kind of pullback, you know, some kind of just a little pullback to this area here. Something like this. Boom, we get a horizontal touch, we get a diagonal touch. Boom, we get in on our US pairs. So given that concept that we are looking for the US to retrace a bit and continue its strength, let's go look at EUR USD. That means that currently we would be looking for short-term buys on the euro, but in the longer term we are looking for sells on the euro, right? Okay, so here we are on the monthly. We notice that we got downward structure, downward price action, you know. And then the next thing we got also that can be highlighted with a line. That's why I don't always use trend lines, because sometimes it's a whole area. Like right now, this is a whole area. It's not a specific line. This area right here, it's been a very, I'll just put it in red just to show that it's a quite major area, this. So yeah, we've come here, and then we've come and we found support multiple times. Let's go down to the daily chart. We found support, yeah, I wouldn't say multiple times, but given the downtrend we've had, like you too, you can see, like, wow, these markets have been very weak. The Euro USD has been beaten up, and that's mainly because Russia, Ukraine, they are based in the euro, and the euro is the economy taking the biggest beating with all of this right now. So yeah, but right now what we can see, it can always still break down, and that's why we are traders. We day trade, we watch this all the time. Given the scenario that let me just open it up here. Given the scenario that it breaks below